Dear Japanese readers, my name is Rutger Bregman and I'm the author of the new book Humankind that has just been published in Japanese. And I'm super excited to be here today, this week, in Tokyo. And I've been speaking to a lot of young Japanese people about what are some of the challenges that Japan is facing right now. And you know what? I think there's something brewing. I really think there's something brewing. As a historian, I know that all change is often, or all fundamental change is often generational change, right? It's new ideas from young people that could really change the world. And there are some signs that I've seen that really suggest to me that Japan is on the cusp of maybe a quite fundamental change. Just last night, I spoke with the Japanese philosopher, and I'm going to pronounce his name in the wrong way, so please don't laugh at me. His name is Kohei Saito. Anyway, sorry Kohei, I did that the wrong way. But it's really fascinating, right? Here we have a Marxist philosopher who's able to sell 500,000 books about degrowth, right? Who would have predicted that a year ago or 2 years ago? I think that shows that so many young people are yearning for alternatives, yearning for new ideas, that they know that the way Japan is being governed right now, mostly by the elderly, right? Because that's basically what Japan is. It's what we call a gerontocracy, you know, a system where mostly the elderly are in charge. But many young people know that this can't go on like that. There are some things that are simply unsustainable. The status quo as it is right now is unsustainable. So just to give you some examples, the working week right now is absolutely unsustainable. You know, Japanese work way too long hours, and that can go on like that. The birth rate is way too low. There's not enough support for young parents, right? So it's way too hard for many to raise their kids. There's too much hierarchy in society, right? So it's hard for young people to speak up. It's mostly, again, the elderly at the top who are in charge. But just the fact that these new ideas are now coming up and they're brewing suggests to me that there is a room and there is potential for change. And I'm very excited to see how this is going to develop further. You know, we've seen in Europe and in the US some truly momentous movements, right? We've seen the rise of Me Too. We've seen the rise of Black Lives Matter. We've seen the rise of Friday for Future, you know, for the climate. And young people today, they know that the status quo is simply unsustainable. So some people may tell you, change is impossible. Some people may tell you that your ideas are naive or utopian or idealistic or whatsoever. But the answer to that is that the status quo is unsustainable. Not changing is completely naive and impossible. So maybe we don't have all the answers today, and there should be a lot of room for discussion. But if those at the top believe that they can just keep going on like this, that the status quo is fine, then they are really, truly naive.